Welcome back to another episode of Through Our Lens, where I love to bring people on so they can talk about their perspectives and their journeys throughout their careers and how their careers started. So today I got Kimberly.
Kim is fine.
Kim is cool. Kim Freeman. She
Hello.
is one of the best artists out here, makeup artists out here. She is from DC.
I am from DC originally. Yes.
Tell the people a little bit about
Yes.
yourself.
Yes. So born and raised in DC, and I just love nice things. I love fashion. I love makeup. I love the process of makeup. And my husband and we moved out here 5 years ago to California, specifically the Los Angeles area, obviously. But we've been here for 5 solid years. And I want to say maybe about 10 years ago or so, I really started to pursue the freelance space of makeup.
Right.
And so now I'm at a space where I solely do makeup.
Okay. So how has that journey been like? Take me through just kind of like the decision that made you jump off the cliff to go full in depth with it.
Um, and just solely do makeup,
Yeah,
only
like
makeup.
solely, like just forget the
Um,
job, forget the 9 to 5.
Wow. Well, the journey has been an interesting one. I never thought that I would be doing makeup. I just, you get into habits because you're young, and you do certain things because, well, I'm not going to pay for someone to do it for me every single time.
Right.
Let me try to learn how to do it myself. So, in my 20s, I am 40 years old now. And thank you. I know I don't look it, but in my 20s, like, you go to parties, you go to
Yeah.
clubs, the nightlife scene,
Right.
and you get something done. Like for women, well, maybe we have a friend that's a makeup artist, or you go to a makeup counter and you say, okay, well, let me get my makeup done for an event.
Yeah.
You like it, then you try to recreate that look. So I wanted to recreate some looks, and I just got in the habit of doing my own makeup,
Right.
so I could go out. You know what I mean? So I got into it, not kind of, but I got into makeup solely just by hanging out and going out and wanting to look a certain way when I
Yeah.
walked out. And the more I did it, the more I asked questions with other artists that I knew, that I worked with. I worked in retail, so working in retail, you meet other people in different departments. So asking those people specific things regarding makeup so I could recreate it. And so that's how I started to pick up a habit, and then a love for it, and just the beauty of having a different look. Like, I just like that. So it was interesting to me. And I just never thought that I would be doing it professionally. I knew I was going to do something, and it wasn't just sales and customer service and work in retail, but I didn't know it would be to this capacity. And the more I did it, the better I got. Friends wanted me to do their makeup, and then I would volunteer to do certain things for people, help people with certain looks. And then I want to say maybe, so we're in,
2022.
yeah, so now maybe about 10, 13 years,
Yeah.
I really started to do more freelance where I'm charging people to do stuff. So maybe like a bride or a bridesmaid or a mother of the bride. And, oh my goodness, I've gotten so much better than where I started. And you look back, but you got to start somewhere.
That's
You
facts.
look back and it's like you think you've arrived, or you think that you kind of got it, but then it's like, oh my goodness, I need to work on this and that. So, I mean, I think back to where I started freelancing to where I am now, and you just have to just keep pushing yourself. And you're not going to please every client, and you're not going to just start off with the consistency that you may like, but it's just what you do in those moments
Yeah.
where maybe you dropped the ball a little bit or you messed up here and there.
Yeah.
How do you grow from it? How do you learn from it? So just through the years, I kept staying consistent.
Yeah.
Even while working in the different spaces in retail, I just maintained that consistency.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't practice every single day. I didn't practice all the time, but I never put it down.
Yeah.
I never just dropped it and walked away from it. And so throughout the years, I worked retail and I worked different jobs, but I still kept pursuing that thing to the point where we move out here and my work, my role changed from a full-time to a part-time. And now that I became a part-time employee,
In your 9 to 5.
In my 9 to 5 here. Yeah. So when we moved out here, I had like maybe a couple of contacts, and those people would send people my way, referrals my way, but it just wasn't enough to leave the job. But circumstances on my full-time job when I got to California 5 years ago switched. So then I became a part-time employee. In becoming a part-time employee, I have more flexibility to do different projects.
Yeah.
And so with that, I was able to branch off and pick up more clients and let people know, like just in passing or working with my husband or since my husband is a photographer. So he would refer people to me as well. And so, when people have a need, it's like, are you going to answer the call for the need? And so I started answering the call for the needs and the referrals and things of that nature. So when it came time for me to take on opportunities, I started taking on those clients and those opportunities. And it got to a point where I was at a crossroads. I had my part-time job, and then things started picking up for me as an artist here.
Yeah.
So I had to decide, like, am I going to stay with this part-time, or am I going to take a chance with the thing that I've been doing for 10 years, roughly about 10 years. And I feel like it's probably like 13, 14 years. So I have all of this time, and it's like, this is the moment. If I don't make this opportunity, if I don't take this opportunity, make this move now, then I might miss something. Yeah. And so that's when, and this was almost 2 years ago, where I said, okay, I want to drop this part-time and I want to put myself in this fully. Yeah. And it's been really, really rewarding. It's been really rewarding.
That's good. I was going to ask you, because I heard you say something about like your clients. Tell the people how important like word of mouth is, because I think it's very important.
Yeah. So, word of mouth is very powerful. I do not advertise myself. I don't go on and have certain promotions that I offer for whatever on any type of platform. I just put up pictures, and I'm like the worst person with social media.
Oh, we know.
I do not post.
We know.
I don't post half of the things that I've done. I'll let you know that I did a lot. And when I'm doing my goal is to rebrand myself, but that's neither here nor there. Going back to your question,
she has a YouTube as well, y'all.
Oh yeah, I do have a YouTube. So, but we'll talk about that at a different moment. All right. But it's really important having people that can vouch for you and speak highly of you, and to put your name in places and amongst people that you might not have the access or the opportunity at that moment to solicit. What's the word? Solicit. Come on now. Solicit yourself too,
I think.
And so I think for myself, I'm big on how you treat people, like
Facts.
How you treat people. And I think this is something that came from working retail and customer service. How you treat people is so important.
I was going to ask you about that. Like, did you learn anything from retail that you use with your own business?
Yeah, yeah. To answer your question,
Yeah.
because I feel like that ties into your question.
Mm-hmm.
How you treat people, that lasting impression, it lasts. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
And people remember how they felt when they encountered you, when they work with you. So if you give a person like terrible service, and you're rude, and you're short, you're abrasive, you're aggressive, you take out frustrations or whatever out on the client, like they will remember that, and they will tell that to everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone they know. And I think that in the creative space, a lot, from what I've seen, a lot of business is word of mouth.
Yeah.
You can have all of the advertisements, you can have all of everything on your social media and whatnot, and you can have your websites and portfolios for days ready to go. But it's the person whose name is in everyone's ear, whose name is coming out of everyone's mouth, that's going to get certain opportunities. So, to the word of mouth is very important, because it shows that you left such an impression on a person that they just start to just speak so highly of you, and that gives you that access. So, for me, I would say that it's been very instrumental in my success, and the consistency of the work that I get, and the places that I've gone, and the people that I've worked with. And I think that is really on how I've treated people.
Yeah.
And how I treat people. I treat everyone. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. You can be the mom that scrambled up enough money just for a photo shoot, and just enough for a new outfit, and a makeup artist. But I'm gonna treat you like you are that celebrity.
Yeah.
And then if you are that person that is an influencer, or you're a speaker, or whatever, you're an author, you're a minister, or whatever, I'm still gonna give you the same type of respect that I would, as if you were someone less.
Yeah.
Or
So
different. I should
so
say,
you
not less.
you hinted at like your husband being a photographer. So the other day I had a podcast, and I was talking to one of my friends, and I was telling them how the dynamic is between like me and Destiny working together. You know what I'm saying? So like I would say be transparent. Like how is it working with Brian? Like, the highs and the lows for people that
Oh my.
do work with they significant other,
Oh
their
my.
husband, girlfriend,
Oh
boyfriend.
my. Oh my. Where would you
Let's-
want me to
let's-
start?
let's
This
start-
is what comes right on out. Cause
Hey,
he gonna
you know,
watch this.
Be transparent. You good. This is to help
Oh
somebody.
my God. Working with your spouse? My goodness. Now y'all about to hear my accent and everything come out.
Hey, let it out. Let it
Child,
out.
what? Do I it's like oh my God. It's a good thing and a bad thing, because you know each other so well. Like,
Yeah.
you know how that person is going to react. You know how they're going to respond. You can almost foresee what they're going to do. So you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, that's how they're going to act. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I know what they're doing. And he going to do this and he going to do that. And let me just do, so it has its benefits, and then it has its frustrations. So
Yeah.
what's good is that I'll speak about the positive. So what's positive is that my husband refers me to all of his clients first.
Oh, that's
and
good.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, he refers, he takes me, and not just, in like a conversation, like, I'm married, this is what my wife, and we're here and there, but he'll mention me as someone that's hiring him for a job, a photography job.
That's
so
actually good.
I know that he said, my wife does makeup. Do you all have a makeup artist?
That's so good, because the person that I had come on before you, she's a photographer, and she said that she has it in her contract that is required, either she brings her own not photographer, makeup artist, or they have to have a makeup artist, and she has to check out their work. And I was like, that's actually good, but that's good that Brian does that. You know what I'm saying? Because he trusts you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the good thing, what I like working with Brian, so Before I left my part-time and I started doing makeup full-time,
Yeah.
what I really liked about our dynamic is seeing him going through his editing process, and he'll start asking me questions about, like, does this look right? Is this supposed to be here?
Oh,
You
that's
know, and he'll
good.
zoom in and look at certain
On a
things
makeup
on the
aspect.
makeup
Oh, that's
regarding a
dope.
certain. Now,
That's
this
dope.
is not anyone whose face I did.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it would be him editing another
That's
client.
good.
And so he'll zoom in to the eye just
Yeah.
to make sure he's not editing out like work, and then make corrections, and I'll offer suggestions. But then what he's done for me is shown me the editing process, like layer by layer. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I know what I need to do when it comes to like makeup and application, because then you have color correcting, and then you
Yeah.
have, like, you want to remove certain spots, but then also, like, I don't think a lot of artists have a lot of conversation directly with
Yeah.
photographers and videographers, and if they did, that would change the way that they do makeup.
Yeah.
So one of the things that really grinds my husband's gears is when he sees a person and their eyelashes are way too heavy. So what it does, it makes it
Casts a shadow.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yes. And so it casts all types of shadows. It closes up the eye a certain way. So when he goes to try to brighten, he has to do even more work if he can even make the change. So that's something that was really helpful. So and just seeing how everything shows up
Yeah.
on camera before an edit is done. So I think that's a good benefit of working with your spouse, especially in a creative aspect. That you can really look at your work and say, okay, well, maybe if I try a different technique,
Yeah.
or if I'm a little lighter on my application, or I use a little bit of this or a little less that, or change this, then it makes you a better artist. And
Right.
you can say, all right, like, I know what he's looking for. I know what the average photographer is looking for. I can get better.
Yeah.
So I think that's been really helpful. So the referral component, and then just understanding how my work shows up on camera has been
Right.
a good thing.
That's good. So, we talked about, how you like Brian we'll have to like dive deep. So I'm gonna ask a deep question.
Okay.
Do you think makeup was do you think makeup was your calling? And if so, why do you think God like led you into the place where you are now?
I don't think that you have just a calling. I think makeup was just a start. I think makeup was just a start to the becoming of who I am.
Okay.
So I think that in this season, makeup is a thing that is a foundation of who I'm evolving into.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's just the end all be all. This is it, and there's nothing else that I can do beyond this. I think
Right.
that we have so many layers to us, but we have to know what season we're in for the layer that we're at right now, or
Right.
the time that we're at right now. But I think that all of the things that I've done prior to this
Yeah.
has helped to make me the artist that I am. One who is sensitive to the person that's in front of me,
Yeah.
sensitive to the moment that I have with clients, because makeup is like going to the hairstylist, it's like going to the barbershop. You don't just walk in and you don't speak to anyone.
Yeah.
It's very therapeutic. People start to open up and say things, and you're sitting in a chair for at least 45 minutes at
Yeah.
most, depending on what you're getting done.
You get to really
2
know
hours
people.
or more, depending on the type of makeup you're getting done.
Yeah.
So while you're sitting there, you're just going to sit in silence? No. So I think all of that customer service, sales, all of those jobs that I worked before just helped me to be more sensitive to the needs of people.
That's good, man. I got another question for you too. I feel like most of us, like, we go through things, we go through dips and times where, like, say for instance, we want to give up on ourselves, or like we just don't know if it's it for us. So like I would ask you to like tell me what was a piece of advice that somebody gave you that you can like pass along to a person that probably went through what you're going through. And it could be like some advice that's like you were probably in a dark place, or you was in a situation where you was like, I don't think makeup was for me. I think I'm gonna just take the safe route. Like, what was a piece of advice that shifted your perspective that you can share with somebody?
You know, it's so many things that's going kind of flashing moments that's kind of flashing through my mind, because I've had lots of good encouraging words
Yeah.
throughout my journey in the short amount of time that I've been doing makeup professionally.
Yeah.
Let me say, because my husband has said some very encouraging things. One time, because I was having a lot of anxiety, and just talking about my husband, he encouraged me, and I was having anxiety about what I should do, and if this was a thing for me to even try to pursue.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Like having all of this, collecting all of these, all the makeup and everything that was necessary to really start it up, and then trying to decide, like, is it time for me to leave my job? Is it not? Like getting a couple of clients here and there, but then still having to do my part-time, and not knowing if it's even worth it to just keep staying where I was in that and just waiting it out. That's what I felt. I felt like I was just waiting for either you go left or you go right. And so he just told me that to keep working it, keep working the two, and then the thing will be clear. Just stay consistent, work the two. It's not always going to look like this. And you'll know. You'll know for sure when it's time to leave. And when it's time to leave, it won't be an emotional decision to leave. Like, not to act on your emotions. That's it.
Don't act on your emotions.
That's it right there.
That's the word of advice.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. Because it's all of those things he said to me. Right.
Yeah.
But the thing that's really, really resonating is you can't trust your emotions. Like, if I had made a move any sooner than what I did, I don't think that I would be at the level that I'm at right now. It just would have been premature.
Right.
And I had so many moments where I don't need this. Like, my husband, he can make money like this and this and that, and get this client, that client. I can just quit. It's like, no, girl, you can't quit, because you still got to build your own thing up first.
That's good.
You got to get consistent.
Yeah.
Or, I hate this. I hate that I got to go through this. This isn't fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's like, okay, well, sometimes you just got to thug it out a little bit.
That's true.
Because you still aren't at that place. You might feel like it's not fair, and it actually might not. I had some really messed up stuff happen to me with a lot of the different people that I work for. Not gonna tell you who and where, but I done had some really messed up situations where they just treated me bad. They treated me bad, but I had to thug it out. I had to stay consistent and not just act on my emotions. Now, express where you feel, and express where you're at, and express it, but don't let that dictate the move that you're about to make, and just know it's not forever. But stay consistent.
That's good.
Everybody has their humble beginnings.
That is true. That's facts. So, like, aside from, like, because both of y'all like creators, you know what I'm saying? So as y'all just doing makeup and photography, with Brian doing photography, take us through what made y'all like go into like, okay, well, we're gonna have a creative space. Like, let's talk about Peer Space. Let's talk about how that was created within y'all too. Like, what made y'all just start building?
Go for it. I mean, I think when you start taking moves, it's like, why not? When you start really walking on faith, and the thing that you sense it within yourself and that you see in your head, when it becomes tangible, and you're living it and you're walking it, you start to really ask yourself, why not? Why not me? Why can I not do that? Why can't it not happen? It should happen. It makes sense. It happened before in a different way. Why not? And so I think with having our studio on Peer Space, and the success that has had in less than less than 2 years, I feel like we've had maybe 500 bookings, maybe,
Yeah.
at least.
Cause I checked. I said, Destiny, they numbers went up. I'm like, bro, what the heck? Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy. But
Yeah.
I want the people to know. I'm like, bro, like, get building your own table. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Cause
Yeah.
it can work for you.
It sure can. And so I
Yeah.
think the thing of it is it was just like, well, why not? And Brian, he before we got the studio space that we have, he sat down and he really developed a plan and a strategy.
That's
So
good.
it's, don't make moves, rash decisions off of emotions. You have to have a plan.
Yeah.
You have to have something to work with so that you can build. No
Yeah.
house is just built on the ground without a foundation.
Yeah.
So what's your foundation? What does that look like? And it's not going to be perfect. And yeah, you're going to make revisions, as blueprints often get revised.
Yeah.
But you need something concrete, right?
Yeah.
So you can start working. And
Yeah.
so he started to develop a concept and a plan. And I remember he wrote out, and his handwriting is terrible.
Like a
A lot
doctor.
of creatives have bad handwriting. That's a side thing, but a lot of them not me, because you don't
Yeah.
know how to write. So, but yeah, so I feel like he wrote, not feel, but he wrote out every single thing, and he had this like a sketchbook, and he wrote every detail that he needed in the space that we needed. And so when he had that plan, and he showed it to me, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Just, like, let me know what it looks like. Like, if you find it, let me, look for it. And so he started looking around the city, and he started looking at different places, and it took him 4 months.
Oh,
4 months to find something that a couple of possibilities, I should say, because
Yeah.
there's several places in LA. But when he found it, I just didn't hesitate. I had a knowing within myself, and we're faith believing people. We believe in Jesus Christ, and we just we prayed on it. At that time, I was fasting. As a matter of fact, I feel like that was May of 2020. I
Yeah.
feel like that was May of 2020, and he had started looking in January. So when we agreed, and I said, well, okay, let's just go ahead and go for it. Maybe a month later, we found the space.
Oh, that's good.
We found the space, and we started setting everything up. So, yeah.
What are the like? Did you like it? I mean, not like the peer space, but did you like what goes into peer space when it first started? Like, was it a growing pain? Was it like, like we gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think I had I can't remember.
Yeah.
Like when it started, like having
Like when it started picking up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was just like our pure space. Like it just took off.
I got a better question.
Okay.
How is it balancing makeup and helping?
That's difficult.
Now,
That's a challenge.
let's talk about that.
Because I am the admin, I am the customer service person, I am the
You
the
HR.
escalation. I'm HR for our brand business.
You know what I'm saying?
Together collective. And so it's difficult when I'm with a client, and let's say I'm in Malibu.
Yeah.
The Malibu reception is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
And so if I'm there, and Brian is somewhere, because he does lots of different things, and he also like has a course that he teaches like once a semester, I think, at USC.
Yeah.
So at the photography department. So let's say it's because that has happened. So I'm out in Malibu, and Brian is on campus in his class, so he can't pick up his phone, but my service is spotty and is going in and out.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm with a client, so I want to be as professional as possible and respect their space. So I don't want to look like I'm on my phone just doing whatever.
Yeah.
So it's difficult because we need to respond in a timely fashion,
Right.
and we want to make sure that we don't have our clients lingering, waiting to figure out like when they're able to do whatever. So that has been a challenge. So it just poses a issue. So what we've had to do is just, all right, if you're going to be here, make sure that we're communicating. If you got this, what's your schedule? Make sure you got your eye on whatever. But we got to coordinate that plan. So it's just learning how to getting better at working together and communication. I think that's one of the things that,
because that's real, like, business partnership.
yeah, you have to communicate every relationship.
Yeah.
And just, I think, you know what? It's like business, marriage, life. You never stop working on communication. You always.
Especially in business. Like,
Especially.
Oh my God.
So I think that's probably our strength and weakness.
Yeah.
Is not communicating enough or not communicating in a timely fashion. But then also, because we are communicating a lot, we know like certain things, like I said, photography, what should I be looking for as a makeup artist, so I can consider the photographer that goes to edit. So it's like an ongoing communication thing.
So I got a question. So, like, think about it. You married, y'all work together, y'all build a business together. Do you think, like, far as just relationship wise, do you think like it should be a good balance? Because me and Destiny was actually talking about that. Matter of fact, the person that I interviewed before this, she was talking about like having a balance, because sometimes you can always be with a person, sometimes whatever. So like, do you think like having a balance of like, okay, look, we work together, you know what I'm saying, we got a business together, stuff like that, and then your own business, you know what I'm saying, like where do you find the balance?
My goodness. So Brian, photographer, makeup artist. Brian also is a designer. So like the shirt that I have on,
Art paid off.
This is his brand. He has a business partner as well. So it's him and another person.
Right.
So that's what, 2 businesses just solely on him. But then we have the space rental, we have the studio. So with that being said, yes, to your point, we see a whole lot of each other, and you have to have balance. You have to have like your own separate individual ways to get back to self.
Yeah.
So just being up under working all the time can be frustrating, because it's a lot. So you have to be intentional.
Yeah.
To set time by yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be intentional. And that's what I've learned, and I'm still learning and growing and doing for myself.
I was going to ask you, like, how do you find your balance? Like,
yeah, so I'm going to tell you. So I set time for myself. I put on my calendar every single Monday, time by myself. Time alone.
That's good.
And so it's time by myself, away from my husband, and I give myself a minimum of like 3 hours to like an 8-hour day.
Yeah.
And in 8 hours, because what if I have several things I want to do? So my alone time could start off with me, maybe I run to the bank, and then maybe I go run another errand, and in that process that takes me like an hour and a half, but then I get hungry, so then I go and I get myself something to eat. So now it's filling up my day, but that's a specific day for me to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then you have to make sure that you touch in with your friends.
That's
touch
good.
in with my friends, I think are great. They are great mirrors to myself, and they show me things that I need to work on in moments where, I haven't seen them. So good accountability partners.
That's
moments
good.
they haven't seen a lot of me, and vice versa.
Right.
And I can just reflect and tell them what I've been going through, yada yada. You need those friends. Not anybody, because you don't want people that's running you raggedy out here, child. You want some good solid friends. Have some good solid circle. Not rag. We not into raggedy. You ain't gonna get nothing done. But you need some good solid accountability partners. Do some things that, remember that you are still an individual. So do some things that you like as an individual,
Right.
whether it's getting your nails done or going to the spa or goes to the movies. Like, treat yourself,
Yeah.
do something, but do it within reason. Now, I'm not saying treat yourself and then blow up your credit card. Now you being raggedy. No,
Yeah.
I'm saying
Be
treat yourself
responsible.
responsible treating. So do responsible things, you
Yeah.
know. But I think because we have a good balance in our life, he has friends
Yeah. Yeah.
that he reaches out to. He has a men's group that he's a part of. He has other things. Like right now, I asked him if he wanted to come here for this, but
Yeah.
he's doing something for himself,
That's
which
good.
is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
You need that.
That's good. That's good. Because I feel like, like I remember telling Desi, I'm like, man, I really do enjoy my alone time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's refreshing, especially like,
Especially because you get so busy, right?
yeah, most definitely. I think the true test of that was earlier this year when I got the opportunity to go on tour, and it was like how many weeks was it?
I think it was two
Oh
weeks.
yeah, ooh Jesus.
So you
Was
guys,
it
we're
2
just
weeks?
talking like y'all know where he went. So he was on tour, photography with
Yeah.
now the interview has changed. Can I say who you
Oh,
were
yeah,
on tour
yeah,
with?
yeah.
So you gotta ask permission, right? So
the interviewer
he
now.
was on tour with the pastor, Sarah Jakes Roberts. I got close to the microphone, so I want to talk.
I
too
think they
loud.
heard you.
But Sarah Jakes Roberts, and he was her photographer there,
Videographer.
videographer.
I don't do video.
Don't do video.
I
but
don't do it.
He was.
but I
there.
did it.
He was there, and so he was gone for 2 weeks. That's what we're talking about, and we're back in.
Yeah. So gone for 2 weeks. I think that helped. I mean, I think that showed me like, oh, because you get to come back home and it's like refreshing.
Yeah.
And then you got stories to tell.
Yeah.
Your partner, she's refreshed or he's refreshed, and
Yeah.
y'all can just, it's like, it's kind of like keeping it fresh. It's
Yeah.
like, and it's not saying that you do need that time though. To be
Yeah.
honest, just to keep it a band. Like I feel like we
Yeah.
all just need that time. Because we are individuals, you know what I'm saying? Yes, when we get married, we're one. But I do believe that like spending that time with yourself, and like you can learn a lot from just spending time with yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
that time spent by yourself can probably help your partner. You know what I'm saying? In a
Yes.
lot of ways. So that's what I believe in.
You gotta give a person time to miss you
Yeah, and
and
grow.
yes.
Yeah,
Like sometimes, like for me and Brian, we just together
yeah,
all the time, and
Yeah.
so it's like sometimes, bro, you need to miss me. I need to miss you. I need to
Yeah.
appreciate.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to step away from a thing so you can appreciate
Yeah.
what you have.
most
you
definitely.
know?
That is true. That is
yeah.
true. Especially looking out, like like say for instance, I do go out with my homies or whatever the case may be,
Okay.
and then it just it does allow you to like how you said, like
Yeah.
miss the person,
Yeah.
and then appreciate them as well, because it's
Yeah.
like nowadays, like in the dating world, it look like it is like how you said, what is it, raggedy?
Wow, I would be so scared.
It's
to get
raggedy out
some-
here
It's
in
raggedy.
Kimberly.
That's what I heard. The people out here said that it's raggedy.
It's raggedy. So
Man, y'all got to do better.
when I tell you, I be out here and I be like, oh wow, this is what's going on.
Not
And that's why I always come home. I be like, Destiny, I am so glad that we made this decision.
Yeah.
Because I would be out here
Yeah.
just it's like, what is going on out here in these
I'm
streets?
glad y'all made that decision too.
Say it
Couldn't
again?
see y'all with different people.
You say you couldn't see
I
it?
could not see y'all
Yeah, I
with
mean,
different people.
Destiny couldn't, she can't see herself without
Wow, without
she can't
the
see herself
kid.
without the load. You know what I'm saying? She can't see herself
Did
without
you
the
just
kid,
big
man.
up yourself on your
You know what
own
I'm saying? But you
podcast
know
about
what
your
though?
wife?
Having her in my life, I feel like I say this all the time. Probably didn't say this on the camera,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that she has helped me
Mm-hmm.
understand or unveil who I am.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
remember first meeting her, and she invited me to go to City Church, and then after City Church, we went to one church.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But then, aside from the church, every Sunday we would go to open houses and stuff, and she would show me like different areas in LA
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that I would never, you know what I'm saying? Like when
Yeah.
you living in the box in South Central,
Yeah.
you see it on TV, you see it, but you don't like, you're not there physically.
Yeah.
So when she like would show me, like these different places, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So I
Yeah.
feel like once she started like showing me different stuff, I feel like my mind like clicked, and then I
Yeah.
stopped kind of being in the same mind frame where I used to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
know, it is true,
You gotta
y'all.
see
When
something
you find
different
a
to be
wife,
something
you
different
find a
sometimes.
great thing. I'm gonna switch the Bible up. When
Come
you
on.
find a wife, you find a great thing.
A great thing.
Great thing.
Oh, I would. Come on.
And she
Come
over here
on.
doing her silent.
I'm a
Y'all
snap
can't
for
see
her
her. So
because
for the audio podcast, she's clapping her. She's snapping her fingers in the
yeah,
back.
I did the snap for her.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
snapping for her.
So Kim is Destiny, and Destiny is Kim for the people that don't know.
Yep, and we the same age. Nope, told you my age already.
What in the world,
But
man?
you know, I think, and I said it while you were saying that when you find a wife, you find a great thing.
Yeah,
Is she helped you see something different?
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a new element in our lives
Yeah.
for us to see new possibilities, and so she helped you see outside of the box.
most definitely.
That here's the truth: you were never in a box.
Yeah,
Right?
mentally. Mentally in a box.
You had the keys to get out of
Facts.
that box.
Yeah,
You just had to go, and you just needed someone to show you, hey, we can do this too, you know. And she brought that for you, and so I think that that's great. Essentially, that's what Brian did for me, was show me that I could do something other than what I was doing.
Yeah.
And watching him develop as a photographer, because when he started, like it wasn't like a wavering. He wasn't back and forth and back. I had a back and forth. And so he didn't
Yeah.
have a back and forth, back and forth. He said, this didn't work for me anymore. He had already been working on his skill. He had already been doing research, and I mean hours and hours and
if y'all
hours.
know Brian,
Like at work,
Perfectionist.
he's still studying, and he's still
Yeah.
watching, and he's still like learning about ISO and settings
Yeah.
and Photoshop and
He full of knowledge.
and other stuff that you know. Because now I'm about to say terminology I don't know, child. But so he's doing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And when it was time for him to make a decision, he's like, "No, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna quit." I said, okay, the person that I am, I'm not going to hold you back from your dream.
That's good.
If it's a passion within you, let's cultivate that. If it doesn't work out, guess what? You know how to work. So, and you got a resume, get a job. So let's just try it while we don't have any kids.
Yeah.
We were newly married. And we had the youthfulness to bounce back from such a decision. And so just watching him was something that opened my eyes up to, oh, I think I could do this too.
Yeah.
Seeing him every day, day in, day out. And
Yeah.
so that was
So you
that
feel
was
like he helped
inspiring.
you unlock you? I said, so you help. So do you think that he helped you unlock you?
Oh yeah, for
That's good.
sure. 100%. 100%. Don't tell him I said that though, because
You know, he
We
gonna be
don't
over
need-
there. You
you know, I'm like, see.
know what I'm saying?
Oh look, no, he ain't gonna be bad.
Nah, man,
He
but
about
that's
to
beautiful
lose.
though, man. Like I feel like, you know, I wish that for everybody
Yeah.
to find that somebody that can help them unlock them, and
Yeah.
vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
and you know, just like how you said, not hold you back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
But
just,
you know, sometimes that could be a mentor. You
Yeah.
could have the right mentor that helps you unlock.
that's
you.
facts. Yeah, in any type of relationship. Yeah,
Yeah.
not just just like she said, a mentor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like meeting Brian helped me a lot because he just unlocked certain stuff. Like, hey, bro, like I like that, but he just gave me a different perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then down to the lights, down to the camera, down to like how you said ISO. I remember days where we would drive down to Lakewood where I used to stay,
Yeah.
and we used to just sit there and just watch him edit, record him edit, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how you said, like so mentors and
Yeah.
friends and all that, all type of relationships can help you unlock you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's a good point that you
Yeah.
said. Yeah, because
Yeah.
y'all find y'all a mentor, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody to watch. And
Yeah.
I know a person that I watched in artistry is, I love this person, Rennie Vasquez. I love his work. He can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Don't y'all come from him. You come for him, you come for me. You come for him, you come for me. You know, I've met him a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
But I love his work. And just watching him and watching his journey, like, he's such a fantastic artist. Like I really respect him. So just I had him as a visual person for me to watch and
Yeah.
just see like the faces that he would do, and he had, like, you know, people have like a couple of clips here and there looking
Yeah.
at a couple of things that he would put up on social media. But he's such a talented artist, Love it. Love his style, everything about it.
That's good. And like, you didn't meet him? You just watched
I
his
did meet
You met?
Rennie.
Oh, bro.
Yes!
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Sorry, I screamed into the microphone. But yes, I met Rennie. Crazy thing is, when we moved to LA,
Yeah.
like the very next month, Brian had a client in Boston, and she was getting married. So her and her husband got married in Boston, and then I think they moved out to LA.
Yeah.
Either they were here and then they went back for the wedding, or vice versa.
So he had to shoot it in Boston?
Yes.
Okay.
So when we first moved here, Brian had to do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
And so so he goes back, he goes to Boston for a weekend. And so Brian already knew I was a fan of Rennie Vasquez.
Yeah.
So guess who is at the wedding doing makeup? Rennie Vasquez.
Yeah.
For the bride. I lost my stuff. Brian has called me, like, because you know he's in the bridal suite and he's doing photos, so he's trying to be discreet. He's like, hey boo, the guy that you follow on social media, what's his name? Rennie is in here. And I'm like, I'm going off on the phone, and I'm like, tell him I said hello, tell him I said hi, Rennie, I love you. And so he's like, okay, I gotta get off the phone. Okay, so he gets off the phone.
Yeah.
And so he told Rennie that I was a fan and I followed him. But what Rennie did was he sent a personal, he didn't send it. Brian recorded a personal message from Rennie to me.
Oh, that's dope.
Because Rennie is my best friend.
Burnt out.
People be my best friend in my mind, and they don't know. But when we meet, it's like we already knew each other.
You
like,
need help.
You know, Thanksgiving, I came by your mama's house, picked up a plate. You know, Jesus' birthday, I came and got a gift from your house. Like, you know, stuff like that. So, but he sent me a personal message that my husband recorded on his phone.
Yeah.
And it was just really encouraging for me to just keep going.
Yeah.
And keep doing it, stay consistent,
That's
develop
good.
my own style. And yeah.
That's good.
Love it. And then I met him in person. So a year later.
Yeah.
So we go to One LA. And a year later, Rennie, we're waiting to go. Where were we? I feel like it was a service. It was end of the year. It was it was like 4 years ago. 4 years ago now, this time of the year.
So 2018?
Yeah. And so that's when we still had like the Thursday night night service.
Yeah.
And Rennie happened to be in town. And so we walk in and we're waiting to get seated in the lobby.
Right.
And Brian looks over, he's like, it's Rennie. Rennie's right here. So he gives Brian a hug. He gives me a hug.
Yeah.
We sit beside each other and like it.
It was dope.
Rennie, we best friends. That's what you don't know. Okay? So the people need to know we just social media friends. I'm not a stalker or anything like
Burnt
that.
out,
But
man.
that was great. Yeah. So it was and even in that moment, that was confirming for me too. Because it just felt like at that time, I was really like in that back and forth of what's going on, and my role shifted from full-time to part-time. And then I happened to run into Rennie at the turn just before the year ends, because that next year was really, really challenging. And so that moment was just so defining for me. It really was like one of those things, that reminder to just keep going. Like, it's not going to be like this forever. It's not going to look, whatever's about to happen is just keep staying consistent with where you're planning on going. Yeah. So yeah.
That's good, man. Yeah. So I feel like that's a conclusion to the podcast.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
I like how we ended that. I like that you ended it with a great experience, a happy experience. Obviously, you were overjoyed because she screamed into the mic. So I just want to say thank you for coming through
Thank you for
for the
having
second
me.
time.
The second time.
The
So
second
what y'all
time
don't know is that we did this already, right?
already.
And it wasn't me because the talent was on point. Okay,
Oh wow.
talent was on point,
No accountability.
but it didn't. Like, you know what it was? The camera didn't want me to be great
It
and
didn't.
shine through the lens.
So guess what? We got 3.
Yes.
So we ain't gonna make no mistakes this time.
Wow. You know what we should do?
What?
All of the people that you interview, maybe you should circle back and see where they are in a year's time
That's good. I probably
for
should.
updates. So update podcast.
I know next year. Next year. Update podcast. Well, that's in conclusion because Kim is still going. That's a conclusion. Thank
Is
y'all
it
for
a
watching.
conclusion, y'all? It's a to be continued
Look at Kim.
conclusion. Ha.
Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe,
Yes.
and tap into Kim's makeup tutorial on YouTube.
Wow.
You
See
can
how
find
you
her
gonna do that?
on.
Y'all see that?
You can find her on what's
You
your
should look
what's
at
your
me right
page?
here. What?
What's your page? Your Instagram page?
What is my? Oh, it's K Freestyles. That's KFreestyles.
And your
Freestyles.
YouTube.
It's the same thing. Like, consistency, folks. Why switch it up? We got a good thing.
And y'all studio.
Oh, well, that's not K Freestyles.
I know, but that's y'all business.
It's Be Free Studios. BFREE Studio.
That's good. So y'all heard it. You know what I'm saying? Go tap in with them. Go tap in with her. I appreciate y'all. And stay tuned for another video. Peace.